It's a dark and stormy night here on a Friday night where it's game number 13 for the CSUN Matadors as they're plagued to take on the UCLA Bruins for the third time in just 4 weeks. Welcome back to the Isoplex, everyone. Alongside our entire MSN crew, I'm Jonas Tawney. And like we said, it is the third time in the past month and a half or so that these two teams have met. The first time they met was here at the Isoplex on October 10th, where UCLA prevailed 6-4 with a late goal, 3 minutes left in the game by Brendan Pellick, scored straight from the face-off dot and then iced the game to make it 6-4 on the empty netter. In that game, Kevin Yusufpour, number 25 for the CSUN Matadors, was able to net a hat trick and secure himself 3 points on the night and one of the 3 stars of the game. The second time these two teams met was over in Santa Clarita at the Cube, where the Matadors bested the Bruins 5-2. So we have a season series split 1-1 here. Game number 3 at the Isoplex. When we come back, we're gonna have the 3 keys to the game, players to watch, and puck drop here on the MSN Network. Welcome back to the ISOPlex. We are mere moments away from puck drop alongside of our entire MSN crew. Jonas Tawny here alongside with you. And like we stated earlier, it's the third time in the past 4 weeks these two teams have met. It's a 1-1 season series. Game 1 was on October 10th here at the ISOPlex. And it was a 6-4 game. It was tied throughout most of the game. CSUN took the lead early, and then UCLA tied it up early in the second period. There were 5 goals scored in the second period. 40%, so 4 out of the 10 goals were scored on the special teams, which takes us to today's keys of the game, where for UCLA, their 3 keys is strike hard and strike fast, dominating the dots, and carrying momentum. You want to be the first team that strikes first. CSUN was able to hold that lead throughout the entire first period, albeit they got a little sloppy in the second, and UCLA was able to take advantage of their special teams and keep it going and keep that offensive firepower going, dominating the dots. We saw 3 minutes left on that October 10th game. Brendan Pellick sniped one from the wing side of the left-handed face-off circle in the offensive zone. And with Pellick scoring, that took all of the momentum away from CSUN. He also ended up netting the empty netter, making it a 6-4 game and being the first star of the game on October 10th. And carrying the momentum, we saw the momentum was a big shifter from on the game on October 10th between both teams, back and forth with that momentum fully going UCLA's way towards the end of the game. So if UCLA is able to carry the momentum, carry the lead, and keep their special teams with them, they're able to accomplish a lot throughout this game. For CSUN, they got to play a 60-minute hockey game, a 1 hour of gameplay. And, I mean, the loss to LMU hurts a little bit. You were able to stay in there with them for a little bit, but ultimately ended up falling 6-3 to the Lions. But being able to skate with them is definitely a sign of promise. Second key of the game for the Matadors is holding the dot. We were talking about UCLA on their counterpart, the CSUN Matadors. They got to make sure they play tightly defense on the offensive or the defensive zone draws for them. UCLA's offensive zone draws. They got to stay tight there. They got to keep the defense, and they got to keep tight and make sure they don't allow any shots, any quick shots, and anything to sneak past them. Seth Miskevich not getting the nod in net tonight. He will play tomorrow against Long Beach down at the Long Beach Stadium. So Christopher Abramian will get the nod in between the pipes tonight. We'll come back with starting lineups here in a second. And the third key to the game for the Matadors is kill it off. And what that's going to is, like we said, 40% of the goals scored in that previous game were special teams. So if CSUN's able to hold on to the penalty kill, and when they go down in the penalty kill, gotta figure out a way to clear it. Before we step aside here for the intermission break, players to watch for CSUN. It's going to be Kevin Yusufar. He scored a hat trick last time we were in this building. He was staying hot, had himself a night. 3 points, 3 goals, looking to try and keep his momentum going, and the team's going to try and kind of rally behind him. CSUN without Ethan Yang for the remainder of the season. That loss is going to hurt them. Very good player, so we'll see who steps up for the UCLA Bruins. Their player to watch is Matt Ing. He was a former junior player playing in WHL, stopped playing, went to community college, and ultimately transferred to UCLA. Wasn't sure if he wanted to play, but decided, I love the game too much. Stepped in, started playing. He has 14 goals in his last 5 games. When we come back, within the next minute, we will have starting lineups and puck drop for you here on the Matador Sports Network. Moments away from puck drop here as you see both teams taking the ice, and the Matadors energetic as they get the chance to take the lead in the season series against the Cold Brews. And the Bruins just coming off a couple of huge wins. They beat ASU in the shootouts 8-7. Matt Ing scoring the shootout winner, celebrating with the forks down. So a huge win from them. So they split the season series with ASU. UCLA 4-7-0, 2-4-0 in conference, boasting 4 points. The Matadors 3-6-3, 1-4-1 in conference with 3 points. Still puts them in last place though. UCLA 4 points in the 6th place, right in front of them. So this game means a lot more than you think. There's a lot of points at stake. 2 points on the line here for both teams. And the Matadors, if they can come away with these 2 points, they will leapfrog UCLA in the standings and have 5 points to UCLA's 4. So this game is huge. Taking a look at tonight's starting lineups presented to you by the Associated Students. Starting for the Bruins, it'll be Daniel Bandman between the pipes for the Bruins. Holden Thayer, Gladstone, and Thomas Wells manning the blue line tonight. Steven Seuss will be centering as Neve Gupta, Matt Ing will be on the right wing, and Hayden Goldstein will be on the left for the Matadors. Like we said earlier, Christopher Bramian getting the nod in the crease tonight. Joey Atancio and Aaron Cutler on the last line of defense on the blue line tonight. Peter Larson, Kyle Warwick, and Kevin Yusufpour are your starting lineups. And we're all set. Referees are all set. I know we're all set to play some hockey, and the puck has dropped here. We are underway at the Isoplex as the Bruins will recover that one. Atancio holds that one at the line, giving chase all the way back to Abrami and almost gets into the crease, and time has started. So the Bruins able to keep that one at neutral ice, getting that back into their own defensive zone. And like we said earlier, Bruins are going to try and strike hard, strike fast, as that one will be an icing, go the length of the ice, and we'll get an offensive zone draw for the Matadors. Taking a look at today's officials, the 2 linesmen, Curtin Liu and Alex Kaganovich. The 2 referees are Alan Feldmansky and Jiblisko. So they will be the law of the land for this evening. They get all the final say and everything. Matadors win that offensive zone draw. That one going to be shot down, tipped away, and Bandman's going to glove that one down, and we will get our first shot on goal for the Matadors. So offensive zone draw there, still won by the Matadors. Getting bumped around a little bit, trying to rim that back around to Atancio, but playing along the half wall. Recovering that one is Ludlow. He's going to feather that one through. Gets a stick on it is Bandman. Now a little bit of a fight as Pellick, he's playing down in the corners, gets this one up to Gupta. Gupta's going to get this one back out to Pellick. Enters the zone with speed, gets down into the corner. Get it chased by Warwick. Warwick and Cutler double teaming Pellick. Wayne gets that one back up, loses it, and here comes Yusufpour. He's already had a hat trick against this team. Fires, blockered away by Bandman, and there's the second shot on goal for the Matadors and of the game. And Yusufpour coming down with speed. Sherman trying to pinch that one along the walls. Won't get to it first as the Bruins recover that one, and we'll get changes as Tang. He's going to fire this one through. Back up and around, and Tirani give chase, no ice. Oh, there will be an icing. Looks like Tirani got a stick on it, but he ultimately did not. So another offensive zone draw yet again for the Doors. That one's going to be one back down behind the net. Hits off a stick, still stays in. Verdonk can't clear it as he recovers that one. Back to the corner, and UCLA is going to try and get a break out of their own. Fans on the pass. Here come the Matadors. Quick shot off the takeaway is going to be saved, and that was gone. Shoots and scores! Hoist the mast as the captain of the ship gets the party started. And the Matadors have an early lead, 1-0, scoring 1 minute and 55 seconds into the game. And gives them the lead. So Hayden Day, the captain, gets the party started. And we'll see if that one will give the momentum, as I believe that was Ludlow who's going to feather that one through down to the corners. No icing, and it's been all Matadors thus far. No chances, but as I say that, here comes the junior. Shot saved by Abramian. I think that just barely clipped. But Matt Ing has done 14 goals in his last 5 games. He's been a monster on the ice. And Duke Fischel's really hoping that this squad is still going to recover with this one. Matadors playing with some speed. Goldstein giving chase with Atancio. Same with Seuss. That one's going to hit off the skate of Goldstein, and the Bruins recover that one. Errant pass almost gets poked away by Doan. Bruins get that one down. Cutler recovers that one behind the net. And the Matadors going to try and slow the pace of the game down just a little bit. Long stretch pass going to get down to Goldstein. And smothered by Bandman. So there are 2 Goldsteins out on the ice. Samuel Goldstein, the center, junior center for the Matadors, and Hayden Goldstein. So Bruins still recover this one, and here comes Pellick. We'll be saying his name a bunch tonight. He's always a threat on the puck. Had the game-winning goal last time the Bruins were down here in the Isoplex. Makes some moves, tries to wrap that one around behind the net. Abramian's going to get the paddle on it, though. Get it down. Pass from Warwick, not going to be able to get out as Pellick still recovers that one. Here comes Doan. Long stretch pass up, intended for Yusufpour. Gets picked off by Shara, who's just going to dump that one in. They're going to get changes. Hits off the back of Warwick. I don't think he saw that one. I think it hit off the back of his skate. Pops all the way up in the air. The Matadors recover that one as Yusufpour tries to get that pass through. Little dump and chase, chip and charge, whatever you like to call it, for the Bruins. Board pass all the way up, back up to Yusufpour. Stretch pass over to Larson, and here he comes. The man with the welding degree can try and weld a goal together as one-timer pass back to Warwick. It's going to get patted away off the pillows, and the Bruins now try to create an own chance of their own. Tethy gets this one back down to Tang. Tang's going to get crowded by 2 Matadors, but the Bruins still recover this, but in their own zone. Errant giveaway right out in front, gone 2. So almost had another opportunity, or he had an opportunity, but he's going to get stoned right on the doorstep. And Tarani comes back and recovers that one, and it's going to be a hand pass. So no penalty. So defensive zone draw for the Matadors. Jeremy Sherman takes this one. Steven Seuss takes this one for the Bruins, and the Matadors going to try and get that one out of the zone, but it's going to be stopped by the defense of the Bruins. Tries to chip that one around Goldstein. No infraction there. It looked could have been a tripping. Law of the land says no, as Sherman is going to chip this one out of play off the glass. So no delay of game. They'll grab a new puck and we'll get reset. A delay game call is a little weird sometimes. Always a little, obviously, by referee's discretion. But rule is if you're in your own defensive zone, that one's going to get shot blockered away. One-timer is going to be feathered. Abramian still gets the stick on that one. Atansio's going to try and get this one up. Nice little give and go pass as Day will get that one all the way down. Verdonk recovers that one. So delay a game call is always really weird because sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't. Usually if there's no deflection and you shoot it out of play, that's when you'll get called for a delay a game, and it's a 2-minute minor penalty, so you'll be down for 2 minutes. Nice little passing move there. Sherman is going to clap that one all the way down and around the board. It's going to take a funky bounce off the Zamboni corner. And back down to the neutral zone. Foot race now, and Seuss is going to wipe out and lose an edge. No penalty there. Still giving chase as Atancio takes a 3-on-1. Tries to get it to a teammate, but Goldstein of the Bruins will cover that one. Gontus rims that one down and around, and here come the Matadors as Maradian tries to center that one, but nothing to avail as that one will hit off a Bruin. We're about 6 minutes into the game. Jonas Tawney alongside of you. Glad you're here from wherever you may be, as that one's going to be feathered down for an icing, so we'll get another offensive zone draw for the Matadors. Bruins finally have their first 3 shots on goal, but the scoreboard is all Matadors as they lead 1-0. In the goal department. That one going to be one back, trying to keep that one in. No offsides, 2-on-1. All the Matadors back checking. Shot going to hit off a body, almost snuck through, but Doan keeps that one out. So does Abrami, and Maradian is going to try and get this one fighting off. A little chippy here. We knew this game was going to be physical and scrappy. These two teams, third time they've met in 4 weeks to the day. That one's going to get out, hit the stick of Doan, and Matador's going to get changes for a couple of guys. Errant pass. Matador's able to keep that one in. Bad turnover for the Bruins, but nothing avails. As Wells recovers this one. He's going to bring this one down as the Bruins brings this one through. Wang tries to circle that one around for his teammate Pellick. Let's get there, battling along the boards. Warwick passes this one up, back up to Larson, tries to center that one out. Lankovitz gets that one out, almost gloved down by Abramian, but he's going to get that one under the trapper and freeze it. So we'll get a defensive zone draw 7 minutes into the game for the Matadors. Sharani gets there. Back down and around, and here come the Matadors. Warwick is going to fire this one through. Is going to hit off the stick. No icing. Warwick still gives chase. Gets there first. Matadors recover. Going to be hit off the pillow. Loose down in front. Going to get back around. Bruins recover this one, and could be an odd man rush as they try to saucer that one through, but Sharani is going to recover this one, and we've seen him. Big, strong, physical kid. Still only has 2 points on the season. So it could be an offside. Bandman loses an edge. Leslie going to go play it, and a break for the Bruins as that one could have been poorly had they recovered that one. Larson recovers that one, getting chased by Sethi. Here comes Tirani. He only has 1 goal on the season. Can he make it another? He's going to fire that one through. Cross ice. Not able to go, and another Matador loses an edge. Here comes Goldstein. Makes a move. Back over, Goldstein, back up, gets poked away. Here comes Sherman. Sherman in, Yusufpour, a 2-on-2. Yusufpour coming down, drops it back for Day off the skate. Tries to center that one and is going to be caught by a Bruin and picked off. So there goes a grade A scoring chance. Matt Ing almost loses an edge, centers this one out to Tang. Tang's going to fire this one through to Abramian. Sees it all the way into the chest and is going to cover that one. 11:34 left to go in the first. So we're now even at shots, almost halfway through the first period. 1-0 CSUN leads. Hayden Day recovers this one. He's going to try and clear it out of the offensive zone. Gets stick lifted by Wang, who fires that one down into the corner. But Cutler gets there first. Really fun story about Cutler. him and his dad are the only duo, father-son duo, to ever play in a CSUN alumni game. So his dad was way of CSUN hockey, and his son now. Talk about a legacy. As Aaron Cutler, the defenseman, still keeps the Cutler name alive as he brings that one through. Matadors now try to bring this one, but he's going to get double teamed back down. No icing, and starting to get a little more physical here. And kind of the same storyline that we saw. Here comes Verdonk. He's going to try and center that one. No one there. He just hits open ice. Wells gets that one around, rims it around to Verdonk. Tries to center that one out. Out to Sethi, who doesn't get a clear shot on it. And Gontus is down. He's hurt pretty bad. So we're going to step aside. We're going to take an injury timeout when we come back. I've actually scratched the break. He's getting up on his own power. I think he's a little shaken up on the hit, but definitely not a good sign. You want to see if you're the Matadors. It's definitely a key player. He's going to go back to the bench and get checked out. So hopefully we'll see him back out on the ice soon. Never a good thing, though, to see one of your key players go down. Defensive zone draw won by the Matadors, fired over the heads by Atancio Ludlow. No high sticking there, though. He's able to almost corral it. Just quick passing, gets that one down and around. Puck bumped up. Back over. Linkovitz gets hit along the boards by Atancio. Sethi, though, recovers that one. Back behind the red line. Chips that one through. Is going to get all the way down. Now it's a foot race. Ludlow's going to win that one. No icing. He's going to recover this one down and around. He's going to try and skate circles, waiting until he gets a teammate over. Crisp pass across to Warwick. Going to try to get a shot on goal. He does, but it's going to be patted away off the toe, and a shot going to get blocked by a body as that one's going to be fired through. So the Bruins going to chip this one through, and that will be no icing. So very nice chip there by the Bruins, being able to get changes on, dump that one in deep. They'll recover that one. Another edge lost by the Matadors, but here comes Warwick. Partial breakaway, just has one man to beat, tries to get through, and Bandman stones him in a beautiful save. Being able to stay with him all the way through. I think Warwick was trying to go backhand and get it over to his forehand and try to rip one in the top corner. Maybe something with his edges wasn't going. You saw him over there working a little bit with his edges. Good way to break free, and Tang stayed with him very, very well. Matadors keep that one in as Doan just this one back over to Muradian, but Goldstein recovers this one. It's an odd man rush for the Matadors, but that rush is going to just turn into an even man rush. But here comes Goldstein, gets that one through in between the wickets of Abramian, and we'll get another whistle. So still 1-0, glad you're with us. Jonas Tawney alongside our entire MSN crew. 8:53 left to go in the first period. Puck is dropped or underway. Ian gets that one back over. Shara rips that one off the stick. Goldstein recovers this one back up to Shara. Looks for options, trying to fire that one through and through traffic. Trying to maybe get a tip on it, but Goldstein recovers this one back through. The captain tries to get his team going as Sherman recovers that one. And stays in the zone. Way to go by Shara, keeping that one in, but gloved down by Abramian. And once more, we are back even at 7 apiece on shots. So Goldstein keeps this one alive, centering pass for Ing. That could have been dangerous. Shara keeps this one in the zone, and this could be dangerous for the Matadors. They've been in the defensive zone for a while. Trelawney recovers this one, gets that one out of the offensive zone, or defensive zone finally, so the Matadors can somewhat recover off that pressure, but not for too long as the Bruins get this one through. Ing chips this one all the way down. Abramian's going to play that one, smother it, and we'll get another whistle. 8 minutes left to go here in the first period. So Matador, I believe that's Jonathan Martinez. He's going to go to the locker room or something. He gets off the ice and he's walking down the corridor. So we'll see what comes of him. Huge hit by Larson there. Open ice hit. Pellick gets this one through, battling along the boards, back down to his teammate. And Matadors are going to try and keep this one out of the zone. It's been all UCLA the past couple of minutes. They've been able to dominate possession in the offensive zone. Open ice hit by Verdonk on Larson, but the Matadors get this one out. But the Bruins, Pellick especially, brings this one through. He's going to bring that one all the way down. Atancio is this one back up to Larson. He's going to get hit along the boards. And offside by 1.5 kilometers are the Matadors. So we'll get a neutral zone draw for the Matadors. So a really cool thing about Peter Larson, his family was actually a part of the founding of Cal State Northridge all the way back in the 50s. So Larson's lineage all the way back is very strong with the Matadors. If you're a Star Wars fan, you could definitely say the Matadors strong with that one. A lot of history with CSUN as Hayden Day gets that one back up to Tirani. Tirani's going to bring this one through, back over. Sherman shoots. It's off the board. It's going to hit off the netting and go out of play. A nice pass there. And so, yeah, with the absence of Ethan Yang for the remainder of the season, I was talking with head coach Blake Anderson before the game, and I was asking, what are you going to do with your line changes? And he's kind of walking me through his whole process and everything, and he was even saying the last time they played here against UCLA, Ethan Yang wasn't in the lineup. Kevin Yusufor stepped up, had a hat trick. And he's definitely stepped up in the offensive playmaking as well. Bandman covers that one. He's going to rim that one back around to his teammate. Matadors recover this one. Loose puck, though, down. Sethi gives chase. Not going to get there first as Rudin will get there. Bad pass. Seuss tries to make a move. Gets that one back behind the red line. Loses the puck. Tirani skates along the board, trying to get out of the way of the referee. Ing tries to recover that one down, but Hayden Day will be the one who prevails. The captain for the Matadors gets this one over to Rudin. Back up to Maradian, and Maradian is going to feather that one through. Back down to Bandman. The Matadors trying to put some pressure on Bandman. Give him to make a mistake and give him an easy goal. Stick lift there by Goldstein. Loses the puck, though, along the boards behind the net. Doan's able to recover that one, but still being pressured by Seuss. Good forecheck here for the Bruins. And if you're the Bruins, this is exactly the kind of thing you want to do. You may be down on the score sheet, but you want to play physical here and try to wear out this Matadors offense and defense as much as you can. Ludlow's going to chip that one through. Recovers that one off an errant pass. Tries to get that one through. Shot going to hit off the pillow of Bandman, but still stay in the offensive zone. Matadors recover that one along the half wall side. And loose puck, UCLA will prevail with that slight battle. Seuss going to chip that one through. It's going to be gloved down by Abramian with 5:10 left to go in the first period. CSUN still leads 1-0 here at the Isoplex. Draw one there, hits off a body. I believe that hit off Larson. Pellick, though, recovers this one, and big, strong man's been all over the puck. As Larson gets that one, tries to chip that one through. Gupta gonna give almost a delayed hit on Larson, try to keep him down. Here comes Yusufor, able to keep that one and try to chip that through to Warwick. Gonna get down to the corner, still chasing after. And nothing, no calls, no hand pass as they're battling aggressively along the boards. And I think as this game goes on, it's only going to get more physical. Warwick bats that one down, but it's being ruled for another hand pass. So it's going to be a neutral zone draw, but more on the Matador side of the neutral zone. They win that one back. Atancio is going to bring this one through, chip that one in. Man comes out to play. It's going to leave it for his teammates, but the Matadors almost get there first. Tries to saucer that one over. Sherman recovers this one, 4:11 left to go. Huge hit after he chips it in, and we've been saying it's going to be physical, and if you're UCLA, you were trying to wear them down, keep pressuring, trying to battle along the boards as much as you can. Win the game of board battling and win the game of pressure. Wear down this team slowly. You almost kind of have to constrict them. Nice little forehand backhand there by Atancio. Is going to get that one over. Long stretch pass is still in the zone. Nice little move, but I believe that's Ing who's going to get there first. Coming down with speed, only has one to beat. Toe drag, goes around, loses it. Abramian nowhere to be found as he loses the paddle. Atancio is going to try and get this one back to him, and Ing almost had a very nice highlight reel goal that he was not able to capitalize on. Good back check there, but if you're the Matadors, you got to be a little tighter to try and control Ing. But man, what a couple of moves and what a sequence to happen there as he was able to get around the defenders with speed. So we never made mention of this, but with Veterans Day passing, we'd just like to say happy Veterans Day to all those who have served, and actually have a veteran on the team here, Peter Larson, who we said the Matadors strong with that one, but also served, I believe it was 3 tours in Afghanistan, served 3 tours in Afghanistan before coming and playing with the Matadors. So happy Veterans Day to him and everyone who served. Here comes Ing down. Goldstein back, centering pass. Couple of Matadors there all the way in the crease, able to recover that one. Hits off the body of Gomez. And Goldstein, though, recovers this one back at the high slot. Going to get poked away. Here comes Gomez. It's a 2-1-1 chance. Gomez gets there first, but it's going to be taken wide back down to the corner. Almost gets tripped up there, but Tang recovers this one. Long stretch pass, doesn't find the intended target as Ludlow gets this one through. Back up to Larson. He's getting a little tripped up. Back over to Cutler. Cutler off the board's going to get this one through. Back over to Warwick onside. Back out to Larson. Larson going to get back down. Yusufor loses an edge, but able to regain that. Matador's able to keep this one through. Warwick fires that one through, hit the body loose right out in front. Still in the high slot, able to keep that one in. No offsides as they keep this one in. And Yusufor coming through. Delayed penalty for the Matadors, and the Bruins are going to have an empty net. And we will get a touch on it, so it'll be a 2-minute for tripping. And just as we thought this game was going to be a clean game and a clean period, we have our first penalty of the game for the CSUN Matadors. It will be Kevin Yusufor who will sit in the bin for 2 minutes for tripping at 18:43. So he will sit in the bin for 2. So the Matadors now trying to kill this off. We've been talking a lot about special teams and the Matadors. Really trying to make that happen. It's a 5-on-4 penalty. So the Bruins still try to recover and get this one through. 32 seconds left to go. Centering pass right out to Kawamoto. Doesn't get that one through. Ing now back over to Goldstein. Goldstein can try and fire that one down. Moves out in front, scores! So Brendan Pellick, the Matador killer, as he adds another goal to his tally against the Matadors with 20.3 seconds left, and we are all knotted at 1. So 15 ticks remaining on the clock. That one going to be sticked down by Yusufpour as time expires. Not another chance for, could be another chance, but have to be a quick turnover. And I believe the Matadors are just going to run out time here, and we go into the first period scoreless. And at the end of one period, we're tied here at 1 apiece on the Matador Sports Network. Welcome back to the Simi Valley Isoplex, the unofficially coldest rink on Earth. If you're very curious on the weather, or not the weather, but the temperature in here, usually, as an announcer, I can get by going to a rink in a button-up shirt, a blazer, and some slacks. Here, I gotta be layered up at least 4 layers, and a ski jacket and gloves, and even then, I am still freezing. Let's run you through the stats through the first period. So each team at 1 goal apiece throughout this first period. Goal scorers Hayden Day for the CSUN Matadors and Brendan Pellick for the UCLA Bruins. Hayden Goldstein and Grant Kawamoto scoring on the power play for the Bruins with 20 seconds left to go. And early in the game, Hayden Day assisted by Ethan Rudin. 1:55 into the game. So we are at 1 apiece here going into the second period. Shots are 8-11. Each side, so 8 shots for the Matadors, 11 shots for the Bruins. We're just about set for the second period, and I think if you're the Matadors, you really have to kind of try and contain your back check. You've seen how dangerous the Bruins can be on the forecheck. Their pressure has been unfathomable, and they've been able to keep at it over and over and over again. And they've been able just to power through this Matadors offense. Whereas for the Matadors, obviously they got to tighten up their back check and you got to not take penalties. And we've seen the Bruins are so good on the power play. The Matadors really need to tighten up their defense, especially on the penalty kill. And that was kind of one of the teams. One of the keys to the game is kill it off. And if you play well, you're going to kill off the penalty. So puck drop, second period underway as the Matadors win the opening draw. They're going to try and repeat the same first period they had, going up quickly. It's a 40-minute hockey game now. They're tied at 1 apiece as that puck trying to be rimmed around out of the defensive zone along the boards. That one's going to sneak through, go all the way into the Bruins offensive zone. No icing. Wells going to recover this one. Gets this one over to Holden Thayer Gladstone. Long saucer pass and a delayed icing, and an icing will be called. So Matadors will get an offensive zone draw to our left-hand side. So obviously both teams switching sides. Seuss taking the draw here with Warwick. Shot off, almost sneaks through. Larson almost took a page out of the UCLA's book. The puck is going to get through. Board's going to get empty, and it's going to be a little chippy as Larson shoves one of the guys all the way through, and Goldstein isn't a fan. And we are going to get some penalties here. So play blown dead because of that. Larson's going to get chirped at, and we're going to get a penalty here. And he's going to get teed up. So it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. So we were just talking about this. You got to be smart here. On the penalty kill. So Larson will sit for 2. And it's another UCLA power play. They are already 1 for 1 on the special teams. And they're going to try to go 2 for 2. But we'll see how that one goes, as this one is going to go all the way down. You're going to get killed down, and we've said it, chippy game, and it's only going to get chippier, especially with the unsportsmanlike by Larson, as Goldstein, captain's going to bring this one through all the way down to Ing. Ing try to circle this one through, gets this one back up to Kawamoto. Kawamoto fires through, tipped away off the pillow of Abramian, and here comes the forecheck again of the Bruins, but here come the Matadors. Long stretch pass for Yusufpour, almost had a breakaway on the shorthand. Kawamoto gives chase. Yusufpour gets there first, gets tripped up by Goldstein. No call on the tripping there, as Steven Seuss is going to bring this one through all the way down with speed, drops it back, fires down along the way, but it's going to be picked off. Here comes Warwick. Warwick and Sherman all alone. That was Cutler's shot. It's going to be chipped away and over, and almost a grade A short-handed chance there. But Cutler recovers this one, trying to get that one back out to Sherman, who's going to get there first, being chased by Kawamoto. Gets this one up, going to be offsides. Gontus back out on the ice. Gets that one back to Tirani. 40 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Bandman plays that one through. Going to give this one back to Goldstein. Back over to the UCLA defenseman of Grant Kawamoto. Seuss can ship this one down. That one back to Dusteroff. Dusteroff giving chase. Back out, centering pass. Here come the Matadors again. Gontus and Sherman. Kawamoto back. Gontus tries to do a toe drag release. Doesn't get through. Matt Ing gets there. Almost tripped up. It's going to get through. No penalty. Penalty expires. Here comes Sherman on the breakaway. Sorry, getting chased. That one's going to get patted away by Bandman. So Gontus and Seuss. A forecheck and Seuss. And we'll get a penalty for the Bruins, as it was an interference behind the play off of a cross check. But we'll see what the official call is. I believe it is an interference call, but I'm not quite sure. It happened behind the play. So it will be an interference. Interference at 2 minutes and 52 seconds into the second. So it'll be the first special teams opportunity for the Matadors, as that one's almost going to sneak through. Yusufpour going to try and get this one back up. Going to leave the zone. Abramian comes out to play this one. He's going to just poke this one to Atancio. He's going to keep this one behind the net. Back to Tirani. He's going to drop that one off for Atancio. Back over to Warwick. Warwick gets that one back out. Stretch pass over to Yusufpour. Looks for options. Back up to the point for Tirani. Tirani back down to Yusufpour. Back over to Warwick. Centering pass over front. Scores! You can tee him up once, but he's going to pop one the next time, as the veteran of Peter Larson makes up for his mistake. Roham Tirani gets the assist. Kyle Warwick gets the secondary. And it's a power play goal for the Matadors. We'll get official scoring to you after. So 3:27 into the period, and here come the Matadors once more. Quick shot, fire's going to hit off. Loose right out in front, no one to get there. Here come the Bruins. Kawamoto brings this one down. Defenseman loses an edge for the Matadors, but the Matadors have life once more. It's 2-1. They capitalized on their one power play chance that they have had without the game. That one's going to be an icing all the way down. So CSUN capitalizes on their special teams. know if they score on the power play. So a turnover there in the neutral zone for the Bruins. Matadors almost recover that one, but Tang is going to get this one through, being chased by, I believe that is Goldstein, Samuel Goldstein of the Matadors. So Matadors in their home blacks, red trim, UCLA in the away whites with their blue and gold trim. And it's a pretty nice jersey matchup. Puck lost, I think, went into the penalty box. And we will have a stoppage of play, neutral zone draw. They have no idea where the puck went. I think it actually just landed on the boards. No one knew where it is. Refs blew it dead and get a stoppage of play and restart. Draw one by the Bruins, as Wells is going to fire this one through. Nice little drop pass there. Hits off a body of a Bruin, but the Matadors still able to recover. 2-on-2 chance. Pellick giving chase, back-checking, fires! Smothered away by Bandman, and we'll have an offensive zone draw for the Matadors. But Pellick getting in there late, and delivering not a late hit off the pass, but definitely physical in the game. Pellick and Sherman take the draw. Gonna be one back by Pellick. Gontus giving chase over to Wells. He's gonna fire this one through. Up to Gupta. Gupta not gonna recover, but here comes Wing. 3-on-1 chance. Gonna fire that one. Tickles the twine and scores! Trevor Wang, the forward. Ties it up, and we have a 2-2 game. As what the lead Matadors had is now gone, as that one's going to stay in the zone. Yusufpour recovers this one, tries to get this one through, back to the point, fired through, hits off a body, going to go wide into the corner. Cutler staying at home, back-checking. Pellick's going to try and get this one through. And it's still going to end up in the neutral zone as Wells gets this one through. Could have been dangerous had Martinez touched it with his stick. Would have been a high stick. Almost a really bad turnover by the Matadors. It is a really bad turnover as the Bruins recover this one in the offensive zone. But Martinez going to try and recover this one. Loose out in front after it rode the wall weird. But Warwick recovers this one, and the Matadors are going to try and fire this one out. They do, but Zheng is going to get there back into the Zamboni corner. And Martinez back down around, tries to get that one through. Sethi, though, recovers that one. Going to be tipped loose right out in front. Matadors not able to recount the troops and get their troops all coordinated, but they get that one through, as that one's going to be a chip in charge. Larson going to try and get this one through. Thayer Gladstone fires that one. Long stretch past the width of the ice, as Kawamoto brings this one through. Nice little stop there by the Matadors, as here they come. Get changes, and here comes Cutler bringing this one down. Drops it off for his teammate all the way around. Zhang and Thayer Gladstone going to play that one up, and we have an icing warning here. Waved off the icing as Ryan Latz going to bring this one back down and around. Moves it around, and a turnover there for the Matadors. But Seuss couldn't quite get there. As here they come, loses that one. Goldstein tries to get that one through, chips that one back up, but Goldstein recovers this one. Volkov not able to recover that one. Shot going to be blocked away by Goldstein. Centering pass right in front. Shot saved by Abramian. As the Bruins still have it, setting up their system. But here come the Matadors. We're going to have a hand pass, I believe, is what it's going to be, or an offside. So the two goals just coming under 2 minutes apart from each other. As Wang gets that one up, going to hit off a body and off the netting, and apologies, that was Tang that took the shot. So 12:41 left in the second period, almost halfway through regulation. Is that one loose right out in front? No one able to get there, though. Matadors recover it and could not clear the zone, so it stays in. Doan gives chase, almost gets that one through. Couldn't quite get all of his stick on it and chip it through. Still behind the net. As that one gets up, Matadors now able to clear the zone. Gets that one across over to Sherman. Sherman giving chase, almost loses it, loses an edge. Gontus there. Looking for options back up and around. Going to try and get that one through. The shot from Doan's going to hit off, rim around, go out of the zone. And they're going to have to clear the zone. So the Matadors chip this one in. Tang gets there. It's going to be a hand pass called, and we will get a stoppage of play. So offensive zone draw for the Matadors. I believe they're bringing out their first line, and it's the second line for the Bruins. Warwick takes the draw, gets them back up to Cutler, back across the point to Atancio. Gonna fire that one, gonna go just high over the crossbar. Matadors almost able to get there. Wells tries to chip this one through. Yusufpour not able to use his body to get that one through. Wells is gonna chip that one down and in. Cutler gives chase, recovers that one, rims it around the boards. Still being a little bit of a board battle though. Cutler tried to recover that one. Pellick keeps this one through, loses an edge, and the Bruins will have to clear the zone as they go offside. So Cutler covers this one, gets that one back to Atancio. Is going to chip that one through. Wells recovers that one, almost a hip check. Going to hit the body of Pellick, who's going to recover that one. Yusufpour not wanting to take a hooking call. Plays that one to stick, and it's going to be a penalty for the Matadors as we get a hooking call there. I believe we'll see the official call, but the Matadors go back on the penalty kill once more. Oh, 2 minutes for holding, apologies. So at 9:04 into the second. So third chance for the Bruins as they win this one back. Kawamoto gets that one over to Ing. Ing gets this one back up to Kawamoto at the high point. Shoots that one through. Loose right out in front. No one there. Matadors able to clear that one and get this one through. And definitely trying to support Christopher Abramian, who's in between the pipes. I was talking with Anderson, and I was like, why isn't Mishkevich starting today? I know he's your number one thus far, and he's starting tomorrow against the Beach. So Abramian got the nod tonight as Goldstein almost fired that one through for his first of the night. Back over to Pellick. Sorry, not Pellick, that was Kawamoto. Cross ice pass. Thought it would go. Apologies, Goldstein already has one tonight. He's looking for a second. Here comes a short-handed chance. Here comes Larson and try and shield it off. And it's just going to hold it along the boards as more troops for the Bruins come to play the puck. Well, he does Ludlow, not Larson. So Kawamoto gets this one over to Goldstein, who's searching for his second of the night. Ing gets this one through. Matadors able to recover that one. Sherman is just going to fire this one off the boards, down and around, and kill some more time off. 45 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Over halfway through this game here in regulation. We're glad you're with us wherever you may be. Jonas Tawney along the call with you, alongside of our amazing broadcast production of the Matador Sports Network. Cross ice fired! Gonna go wide, not able to find the target. Goldstein recovers this one, shoots this one through off a body, loose right out in front. Matadors get this one cleared. Sherman giving chase with Kawamoto. Kawamoto's just going to clear this one back over. And 15 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Here come the Bruins back down. Shoot, going to go wide. As Shara tries to get this one through. Back down along the edge as Pellick gets this one through. Penalty expired, so another man advantage wasted and another penalty killed for the Matadors. Don't gets this one through. That one's going to go wide. Icing warning, so no changes are able to be made. But they did kill the penalty, so the Bruins fall to 1 for 3 on the special teams. So Matadors only have 1 shot on goal this period. And the result of that 1 shot on goal ended up behind the backstop of Daniel Bandman. Errant turnover there by the Matadors. Tang tries to set that one up, going to get through the wicket. But here come the Matadors. Open ice, little bump to Atancio. He's going to get some changes. Apologies, that was not Atancio. That was to Goldstein for the Matadors. It's going to hit off a skate. Tang recovers this one. Fires that one all the way up, and it will be a delayed icing. Atancio is going to get there first. So it will be an icing 12 minutes into the second period. Shots on goal are 9-17. Bruins have almost doubled the Matadors in shots on goal. But on the scoreboard, it's still 2 apiece here. Warwick takes the draw. Gonna lose that one to Wang. Bruins gonna try and get this one through, but Sethi not able to get there first as Cutler is gonna chip this one up all the way for Warwick. He's gonna lose it at the feet, but here comes Yusufor. Gonna try and bring this one all the way around, looking to maybe wrap it around in. So he finds space in the slot. Warwick, bad pass back over to Cutler. Not a pass, it intended to be a shot, but I think it just went wide. Here comes Warwick. Brings this one back over to Yusufpour. Yusufpour. It's this one over to Atancio. He's going to rim this one back around. Larson gets there. The Matadors trying to set it up, but the Bruins are able to kind of just hold them to the outside, so nothing's able to get into the center. That one's going to be a long shot up, and Goldstein not able to, putting a little bit too much power on it as it hits the ceiling. Maybe a little low ceiling here at the Isoplex, but you got to be aware of the house rules. So another offensive zone draw as line number 2 for the Matadors come out. Quick shot by Sherman, hits off the pads of Bandman, and that's their second shot on goal of the period, I believe. We'll wait on the scoring of that day. It's going to get this one back over. That one's going to hit the body of Goldstein. Great block shot there. Loose right out in front. Sorry, actually hits off the blocker of Bandman. So Goldstein's going to get this one through. And down and around. And we have a delayed call for the Bruins. So it's going to be another interference call. So Aiden Verdonk is going to sit for 2. (13-16) into the game, 2 minutes or into the period. Apologies. Another one for interference. So that one going to be fired through, but kept at the line. Sherman looking for options, going to get this one back up, playing easily at the line, but Gupta able to recover. No call there as Gupta loses an edge. Cutler. This one over, back over to Sherman. Sherman going to play this one through, looking. Tries to get that one to the slot. Loose right out in front, going to not stay in the zone, so they'll have to regroup in the neutral zone. Cutler trying to fight off a white jersey, as that one's not going to get through. No icing. Matadors. Dusterhoff gets this one through. Going to take a quick shot centering. Right out for Day. Not able to get that one through. Day still has it and going to go to the corner. And no call there as that one's going to get fired down. Dusterhoff not happy with the call. He got tripped up. And a long stretch pass there to Gontus. No one there. They're going to try and catch the Matadors on a change. Coming way out of his net is Abramian to paddle it down. And trying to get another breakout for the Matadors. As here comes Atancio with speed. Has two to beat. And try and get it through centering. No one there. Atancio now looking for space. Fires! Hits off the board. Warwick not able to keep that one in. Goldstein going to try and get a shorthanded chance, but pressuring back, not going to happen. Tirani brings this one through, weaving his way through, gets stick lifted, loose right out in front. Yusufpour trying to find changes. Fired all the way down, and this might kill the momentum of the power play for the Matadors. 15 seconds left to go, but slowly chipping away at that defense as the Matadors. Tirani brings this one down. Warwick streaking down, trying to center that one. Warwick plays this one back to Yusufpour, almost loses an edge. Back up to Atancio, time expiring on the man advantage. Man advantage over, Tirani is going to shoot that one. Verdonk out of the box now, defending with his team, doesn't go for the change. Loses his stick, puck still loose around the boards. He's trying to grease this one through, centering pass. Yusufpour trying to make something happen, not able to. Back over, Warwick, shot patted away by Bandman, and Tang gonna come through, and no play down there as Yusufpour is gonna be hit down, so that one not gonna happen, and gonna hit off the net, and a solo effort there by Tang, but nothing to avail. So CSUN falls to 50% on the power play, but able to get a couple of shots on the man advantage. So 4:12 left in the second period. So that one's going to be fired down. And the Matadors trying to get a long stretch pass. Not able to, but giving chase to Kawamoto. Bandman's just going to quickly smother this one. Goldstein giving chase. He was very adamant about getting to that one early. So Gomez gonna win the draw back. Matadors trying to keep that one, but here comes Sethi. Breakaway, trying to get back, 2-on-1 chance, shot, patted away, huge save by Christopher Abramian as he's able to keep this game tied at 2 apiece. So Ryan Latz gets this one through, but Bruins able to keep this one down to the offensive zone. They look to set something up here and try and take the lead for the first time in the game. No penalties there. Trying to wrap that around, but beautiful defensive play by Doan as that one's going to hit off, and we are not going to have another delay of game penalty. That's a shock to me. It looked like he just shot it up and trying to clear it, and it didn't hit the boards. It looked like it just hit straight net. So I'm surprised they did not call him for delay of game. So everyone's sorting out their final changes. Not too sure what's going on with changes. Goldstein's still out there. I think he's trying to change, but he's not able to. He's supposed to play. Not too sure what's going on. So Hayden Day ends up coming off. A little bit of a miscommunication there from the bench as Ing, grade A chance, stoned by Abramian, and the Matadors get a counter rush of their own. Back down, here comes Gontus. Gontus over Sherman. Gloved by Bandman. Good passing play and a great breakout and an even better save. Sherman shoots it right into the glove of Bandman, and great save there. And another great chance for the Matadors, but not able to make anything happen because of it. Sherman loses the draw. Day almost had this one. Seuss gonna lose this one. Over to Gontus. Played along the boards, pinning along Sherman, battling his way through. Seuss trying just to cover this one through, gets this one out into the neutral zone, so delayed offsides, nothing to happen, and they'll regroup and get set to start another breakout. Sherman gets that one poked away, still recovers that one though. This one back over to Day. He's gonna bring this one in, down into the corner. Sherman with speed down. Shara gets there first, back over to Goldstein. Goldstein's gonna get this one to Ing. Ing's gonna come down, partial breakaway. Save, no penalty there. Could have been a holding call, could have been a penalty shot, but no call from the officials. No hooking there either. They're letting them play. They know it's gonna be a little chippy. Ing bringing this one in, chips this one back up, shot. Save, loose, back around behind the net. Abramian has no idea where it is. Back into position now for Donk. One-timer. It's going to be saved, so no calls. Could have been a holding or a hooking for the penalty shot, and there was another holding and hooking down in the CSUN offensive zone. No calls. We're letting them play on. Some chatting with the officials, not happy with the calls. 15-20 are the shots on goal, still 2-2. So that one's gonna be tied up in the zone. Matadors recover this one. Yusufpour trying to get there before Wells does. He does, would have been just barely offside, but offside nonetheless, as here comes Wang. Gets this one around. Atancio gets there first, gets hit by Ing, or actually bumped. Giveaway though, Bruins get there first. Ing now back down, centering out for Wang. Not able to get there. Cutler gets there first, pokes it away, but the Bruins still have it. Pellick back over to Verdonk, gonna shoot this one, gonna go wide into the corner. Official getting in the way of a CSUN player. Nothing happening as here they come. Matadors on another offensive break. Yusufpour with speed gets down, gonna get bumped away down behind the boards. Shot early, or quick shot. Paddle away by Bandman. Cutler is going to try and poke that one away. Verdonk recovers there first as he brings this one down along the boards, along the half-wall side. That one's going to get shot over as Kawamoto looking for options. Gets that one through to the corner. Under a minute to play here in the second period. So Matadors sauce this one over to Larson, who's going to feather this one through. Paddle away by Bandman. Add another tally to the shot on goal, though, as Trani recovers this one. 30 seconds left to go, and the Matadors could use a huge goal right now. And it will be an icing, so it'll be a defensive zone draw. .7 left to go in the second period. Neither team, if you're the Matadors, you don't want to give one up now, and if you're the Bruins, you'd love to get one now. Right now is pure moments. You carry the lead going into the third period, and now you just play 20 minutes of defensive hockey, not letting anything through. You'd be stone walls on defense, and you'd be fine. But if you're tied going into the third period, then it brings out how do you attack this Matadors defense, and how do you try and break through for both sides? 10 seconds now on the clock. That one's gonna get shut down, and icing will be the call as Shara gets there first. That one back to the official. 6.0 left to go. In the second period. That one gonna get through as they're just going to feather this one through. Time's going to wind down and end the second period. Folks, don't go anywhere. In fact, go to the kitchen, grab some popcorn, and come back, because when we're back, 20 minutes of hockey left to play, tied at 2 apiece here on the Matador Sports Network. Welcome to the second intermission report brought to you by the Associated Students on the wonderful and beautiful campus of Cal State Northridge. Jonas Tani alongside of our entire amazing MSN broadcast crew, Arabella, Roman, Paige McGill, and Angel. I always forget your last name. Gagu, yes, he's our wonderful cameraman right now, so wonderful broadcast crew. When I say it is the coldest rink on earth, I genuinely mean this is the coldest rink on earth. Ski jacket, hoodie, polo, and gloves. Shout out to the wonderful girlfriend who lent me her gloves. It is very cold at the Simi Valley Isoplex, so for any of you wanting to attend future CSUN games here, dress very warm. It gets very cold. You will thank me later. Get into the stats of the second period. 2 goals for both sides combined. 1 for CSUN, 1 for the Bruins. We have a 2-2 game going into the third period. At this rate, we're going to have a 3-3 game going into overtime. Hopefully we get some extra hockey tonight. It'll be a lot of fun. These two teams are 1-1 on the season series so far. Last time they played here was October 10th. UCLA was victorious 6-4 after scoring in the final 3 minutes. That goal brought to you by Brendan Pellick. On October 11th, it was the Matadors who were victorious 5-2 at the Cube in Santa Clarita. In this last period, CSUN registered 7 shots on goal, one of those actually tickling the twine and registering on the scoreboard. For the UCLA Bruins, it was 9 shots on goal, one of those finding the back of the net, and a beautiful shot that just found the top left corner, right where Mama hides the cookies. That goal was brought to you by Wells, I believe. I need to grab my spotting boards if you want to follow me over here, our wonderful broadcast crew. It was Trevor Wang who ended up scoring the goal for the Bruins. Pellick getting the assist on that one. For the Matadors, 3 minutes into the second period, they scored, giving themselves the lead once more. It was Peter Larson getting teed up for unsportsmanlike conduct earlier in the first period, where the Bruins ended up scoring on that penalty. Ended up coming around and scoring. Kyle Warwick and Kevin Yusufpour getting the assist. The Matadors 1 for 2 on special teams. The Bruins 1 for 3 on special teams. So 1 even strength goal for each side, 1 power play goal for each side. Puck drop here in about 8.5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Make sure that popcorn isn't burnt. Grab your seasonings, grab your salt, whatever favorite hockey snack you have. We'll be right back with the third period. You won't want to miss it. 20 minutes left to play here in regulation. We're knotted at 2 apiece in the third period. Thank you, scoreboard. And we are ready to play. Officials have dropped the puck. And Goldstein of the Bruins going to dump that one in. Atancio is going to give chase and try to get this CSUN Matadors offense going. Yusufpour and Tang going at it in a foot race. Yusufpour goes down, no penalty, loses an edge. Almost tries to get, almost gets hip checked, but no avail. Cutler cuts off that pass, gets that one back over to Warwick, who gets that one out to Atancio. Atancio is going to fire that one over the crossbar, off the boards. Still stays in the zone. Cutler recovers this one back down to Warwick, who Warwick's going to get this one through. Up and around to Atancio, still in the offensive zone. Trying to keep that one there, but the Bruins will recover that one, and they get set to go. Here comes Goldstein. Chips this one in. Ing gives chase. Atancio gets there first. So he fires this one through. Back over Wells, not able to cleanly handle that one, but still gets this one back to his counterpart on defense. Wells, fans on that one. Tries to get this one up to Ing's going to get stick lifted. Sherman's going to get there first. Gets that one poked back. Cross with pass, I guess cross ice you could say. A nice little move there from Goldstein. Almost had the windmill deke, but does not complete it. So he loses possession of the puck, and Sherman now gets this one through. He's going to dump that one in. No icing. Bandman comes out to play this one back over to Day, who recovers that one. Tarani almost gets that one too, but Tarani comes down, fighting off. Here comes Seuss, covers this one back up, gonna get this one down, back over to Gupta, who will get this one back into the corner. Sherman recovers it, and it's gonna get this one over to Day, picked off by Pellick. Pellick comes down now, and keeps this one, battle along the board. 17:53 left to go in the third period, as Tarani chips this one out. Still retains possession of it are the Bruins, but Tarani gets this one back. Little backhander over to defenseman and Hayden Day. Tries to get this one up over to Gontus. Still stays along the boards. Gontus recovers this one though. Breaks free, cross ice pass over for Tarani. That was intended for. It doesn't get through, as that one's gonna get picked off. Gomez doesn't recover that one cleanly, and here come the Bruins. Coming down the other way, it's gonna hit off the boards. Abramian thought it was gonna hit the net. Does not, we're still playing. 17:04 left to go. Goldstein brings this one down. Gonna get hit, Latz keeps this one in. Clapper from the point. Gonna go wide, so no shot on goal there for the Matadors. They still keep it in they still keep possession of it, but lose it now. Actually keep it back, as Doan almost recovers that one, but Bruins are gonna chip this one out. Giving chase is Lenkovitz, and Lenkovitz almost regains possession of it as Matador goes down in the corner. Loose right out in front. Kawamoto almost gets there first. Now maybe a little scrap. Someone's going to hit off his skate, and Tang's going to bring this one back. Back through. Nice move there by Tang, still battling a sea of black. That one going to be fired and smothered by Abramian, but a nice couple of moves and a really good way to get a shot off there. It's another defensive zone draw for the Matadors. That one loose right out in front of Brahmi and almost lost an edge. Didn't know where it was. That one's going to sneak out of the zone offside. Goldstein has to retreat and let the Matadors start a break out of their own. Atancio gets this one. Nice little give and go. Here comes Kevin Yusufpour. Yusufpour leads the team in goals, and it's going to be windmilled down by Bandman. So taking a look at the upcoming schedule for the CSUN Matadors. Next weekend, back-to-back games against the University of New Mexico Lobos will be here on the 21st and the 22nd. And they will be playing, this will be I believe the last game before we go on holiday break, at least at home. Here comes Matt Ing. Ing fires that one, gonna go wide. Shara able to keep this one in, as that one's going to be chipped through, intended for, I believe that is Yusufpour. He still regains possession of it. Nice little hook pass over to Warwick, who's intended for. Keeps this one on the far side of the ice. Tries to center this one, going to hit off. Atancio, Ing giving chase. And Atancio going to get this one up. Here comes Warwick. Warwick being chased by Seuss. Tries to get this one out to Yusufpour, but now back. Here comes Dusterhoff. Nice little move by Goldstein. Stoned right by Abramian. And that long pass up. Here comes Yusufpour battling Wells. And will be called for icing. So continue to look at the schedule tomorrow. CSUN's playing at Long Beach. And then they'll be playing San Jose State on the 5th and 6th of December. Up north, they take on the Gauchos on January 9th. SMU on January 16th. New Mexico again on the 17th, and UCLA on the 18th. That will be the outdoor series they are playing up in New Mexico. And then on January 30th, the Bruins will be taking on the Matadors for their final away game of the season. Rounding out the home side of things, as Larson's going to bring this one into the neutral zone. We'll be here next weekend, back-to-back on the 21st and 22nd of November. And that'll be the last two games of 2025 for CSUN hockey. Breakaway here. Gontus not able to recover that one cleanly as he gets hit along the board. Still able to recover this one. There's got one out. Hayden Day loose out front. Scores! Call him Captain Clutch as he sneaks it through the wickets of Daniel Bandman. At 5:44, and CSUN now has a 3-2 lead here. 14-12 left to go. So Kawamoto's going to get tossed from the face-off circle. Sherman almost wins that draw back, but the Bruins now have to have a little bit more firepower, but you got to be smart and clean with how you execute your breakouts now. You don't want to push everyone up front and get caught in the back check and play messy, as I think they're trying to get all their troops up front, and here comes Gontus. Gontus able to recover this one, tries to center that one for Day, but it's going to get picked off by a Bruin. That one's going to be fly down to the other side. Foot race, and it will be icing as Kawamoto will not get there first. Atancio will be the winner of that track race, and we'll get another reset. So 13:44 left to go here in the third period as the Matadors win that draw, keeping that one out. Tries to chip that one through. Will go behind the goaltender. The net. Matador still able to keep that one as Latz recovers that one, rims this one back around. Bruins recovering this one, still able to keep this one through. Loose right out in front. Bandman is going to drop into a butterfly position and smother it with his glove. And folks, we have officially reached Saturday, November 15th at midnight. So late night hockey is still here in the Valley. So the Bruins now trying to get a breakout of their own. 13 minutes left to go. Goldstein's going to fire this one way wide. Shara there to keep that one at the point and keep it in. Going to hit off Ing. Here comes Ludlow. Ludlow going to make a nice little move toward the backhand. They get shielded off. Going to be taken wide. Still going to be out, and the Matadors have to regroup. And it's going to be a quick fired in. No offsides there. Matador's going to get quick changes, and they're going to get called for a hand pass. So we'll see where the draw is, but a late call for the hand pass, but they do get called for a hand pass. .12:49 left to go. Matador still holding the lead here as they win that draw. So Yusufpour is looking for options. Warwick now battling down in the Zamboni corner. So Matadors recover this one. Chipped back out to Tang, recovers that one for the Cold Brews. Toncio now trying to get this one. Here comes Matt Ing. He's the leading scorer. Matadors have held him to 0 goals tonight. As Wells gets this one through. Going to be picked off by Larson. Able to recover that one. Chip this one out. And no icing. Yusufpour going to get there first. Bandman comes flying out of his crease. And able to cover that one in between the legs. But Yusufpour almost, if he was able to keep that one away from Bandman, he would have had a wide open net to score, and it would have doubled the lead. Sherman loses the draw. Here come the Bruins with speed all the way down. Get that one over to Gupta. That one's going to be chipped all the way back out. Icing warning, delayed icing, and we are going to get an icing call. So we will reset the draw in the defensive zone for the Matadors, and we've seen the Bruins so good on this offensive zone draw. Getting a quick shot. I'm curious if they go back to it. See if they can try and surprise the Matadors real quick. Just quickly get a shot off. I mean, Pellick's taking it. He was the one that got the shot off earlier, so we'll see if they win it back. No quick shot here as that one gets down to the corners. Gupta battling, loses an edge. Gontus plays this one, kicks it to a stick. Back over to Atancio. Atancio feathers this one, tries to get it through. Wang almost intercepts it, but Hayden Day gets there looking for a third of the night. Sorry, that was Gontus, but still Hayden Day nonetheless looking for his third of the night. As Pellick gets this one, coming down with speed. Here he comes, going to get bumped off the puck. Cutler trying to pinch him out, trying to box him out. Gets that one to the board. Sherman's going to get their first hits off the skate of Gontus. And the Matadors recover this one, try to slow the pace of the play down. 11 minutes left to go in the third period. Hits off a body, still in the zone. And Gupta gets there, no offside at the boards. Plays this one back, shot, tipped off a body, going to hit off the boards. Loose as Kawamoto gets there. Back up to the point for Verdonk. Verdonk fires, gloved down by Abramian, and a crucial save to keep the lead at 1 with 10:50 left to go here in the third. So these two teams face each other 2 more times, but both times being away. Sethi gets this one over. Huge clapper by Zhang. Loose right up behind the net, and Abramian out of position, but smothers it with his stick along the backside of the net and covers it to freeze the puck. So 10:42 left to go in the third. CSUN still leads by 1. Shots are 18-22 in favor of the Bruins, but the scoreboard favors the Doors. Bruins still recover this one in the corner. Battling down along the edge. Sethi tries to get there, but still in the corner. Matadors really battling hard, trying to keep the game right where it's at. Almost trying to slow it down. The Bruins try not to run themselves out of gas. So they're going to chip this one in. It'll be delayed offsides. They have to regroup. As Lenkovitz gets there, Kawamoto loses an edge, gets too hard into the boards. That one going to be fired through, and Abramian gets there. So both sides will get changes halfway through the third period. 10:04 left to go Thank you for joining us wherever you may be. Jonas Tawny on the call alongside of our entire MSN crew. Warwick is going to win this one. Lose that draw, actually. Shara almost gets that one through. Abramian will get a pad on it. Still back in the corner. Shot, hit off a body, loose out in front, and that one not going to get through. Abramian able to stone him and then goes wide. Goldstein loses that one out to Seuss. Seuss gets hit wide open ice. Great hit there. Back over to Shara. Shara shoots that one, tries to get a tip out in front. Loose. Seuss will get that one, and it'll be a high sticking call. After playing the puck too high, the official called it. I thought it was going to be a penalty, and I thought the Matadors, after that happened, were going to get a break and get the high sticking call, but it will be a high sticking play. So the puck was played above the shoulders with the stick, which you cannot do. And if you do play the puck above the stick, the other team has to regain possession of it before you can. Otherwise, the play will be whistled down and you will have another face-off draw. Here comes Goldstein along the boards. We'll get this one back down to Ing. The physical game, Warwick pops this one loose. Shara, shot, blockered away into the netting, and we will get, it'll be a deflection off of his blocker. And we'll have another draw. 9-12 left to go in the third. CSUN trying to hold the lead where they can. That draw one. Pellick, quick shot off the draw. We've seen that before. He has a game winner on that. So I would not be surprised that's how they tied the game, as that one's going to be paddled away by Abramian. Verdonk going to shoot this one into the corner. I think that actually hit off a stick of a Matador as Doan gets tied up with Gupta, still loose along the boards. Pellick now tries to play this one back out to the point. Fired by Wells, blockered away. Verdonk claps that one quickly, still hits off the back of the netting, and will be rimmed around and fired out. Icing delayed, and it will be waved off. UCLA was trying to hope to get an icing there. Long stretch pass. Pellick was the intended target. Actually ends up going to Verdonk after it hits off the stick of a Matador. As Latz gets this one down, battling with Gupta. We've seen this board battle before. Almost deja vu as Pellick still fighting alongside. Centering pass right in front. Verdonk, no one there. Hits off Hayden Day. Beautiful block with the body. And a wide open shot and being able to keep that one. Pellick with possession of it now, makes a little move, tries to keep this one, gonna go along the boards. Sherman battling for it, able to chip this one through, and it will be offsides. So they got gloved down out of the offensive zone, and they had to regroup. Just a fast play that happens, and a tough break there for the Bruins. 7:51 left to go. As Moradian will get this one. Huge hip check. Strips possession. Here comes Kawamoto, but Moradian is going to try and strip possession of him. A little loose puck battle. Tirani almost gets there, but it's going to be feathered down, chipped along. Kawamoto giving chase. Dusterov gets there first. As he gets that one back over to Tirani. He's going to chip this one through. Moradian almost gives chase, almost gets there first. Hits off the boards as up comes Gomez. Gomez makes a move. Out there, shot wide, no one there. Gomez almost had an assist on that. That would have been a beautiful play. 7 minutes left to go in the period. So that one's going to be fired down. Abramian's just going to paddle this one through. Tirani is going to get this one back. Bruins going to get changes as here comes Tirani skating with it with speed through the neutral ice. He tries to shoot that one through, almost going coast to coast. He's going to get this one back to Ludlow. Try and get this one up to Dusterov. He's going to get poke checked away. Not able to keep that one in the zone, so the Matadors reset. Long pass into Bandman's glove. He's going to play that one down, keep the pace of play moving. Stretch pass all the way up to Goldstein, and it will be an icing call. I think they were trying to hit it off Goldstein's stick just so they could get changes. Atancio going to come back, get changes. Draw lost by the Matadors. Shara rims this one around to his teammate. Tries to drop that one through. Cutler is going to get that long pass that was intended there. UCLA's now trying to play dump and chase and long stretch passes, trying to get behind the Matadors defense. Trying to catch them on a breakaway. Bramian not going to play this one. Cutler gets there. Gets this one up and through, out of play. And no icing as they wave that one off. Shara gets there. Larson giving chase to it and try and tie him up and keep it in the corner in the offensive zone. 5:50 left to go in the third period. We're still at 3-2. Shots are 19-27 in favor of the Bruins. So they get that one through. Ing almost gets there, but being tied up and overskating it. Larson gets this one up. Verdonk recovers it, but poked away. Loose out in front. Yusufpour battling for it now. Gets hit in the head. No call. Curious to see what happens, but Yusufpour gets drilled in the neck. No call for a hit to the head. Atancio recovers this one back over to Cutler in their own zone. 5 minutes left to go in the third period. Chips this one up to Day. Day's going to get that one to Gontus. Tries to get it to his stick off of his skate, but it's going to be errant. Gets that one over to Goldstein. Already has one on the night, looking for a second. Over to Pellick. Pellick tries to shoot that one. Doesn't get all of it, and Abramian covers that one. And we'll get a stoppage of play. 19-28 are the shots in favor of the Bruins. Still 3-2, though, in favor of the Matadors on the scoreboard. Stat that really counts, and the stat that will get you wins, obviously, when you score more than the other team. So draw one. Verdonk fires that one quick into the glove of Abramian. Some pushing and shoving, but more just pushing, and that will be diffused quickly. Sherman and Wang take the draw, so Sherman wins this one back over to Latz. Latz gets a little tripped up. No delayed call there. Battle along the boards. Loose right out in front, over to Verdonk. One-timer paddled away by Abramian. Back out in front, tipped off, another paddle away. He's getting a good stick there. Loose out in front, no one there to whack it home, and the Matadors able to get this one out of danger as Gontus brings this one through. No call there. Open ice hit as it's getting a little chippy now. A cross check, no call, and I believe Sherman's down. And the Matadors going to get a little chippy here. Pellick pushing and shoving with one of the Matadors. Sherman still down. Now Verdonk's going to get there, and some talking going on, so we'll see if there are any calls and any penalties. Maybe that's Sherman that's down on the ice, and he looks hurt pretty badly. So 4:02 left to go in the third. Bruins have hit the 30-shot mark. And both captains are going to be out talking to the officials. Little limp on the right leg, and so Sherman's going to go to the dressing room, so that's going to be another player. It's going to be a really tough loss for the Matadors. Sherman's been one of the best playmakers on this team. You got 4 minutes left to go. No calls, I believe. But I think we'll have a defensive zone draw for the Matadors. So it's going to be a little more chippy. Now after the injury to Sherman. So changes made, and ready to go here. 4:02 left to go in the third. Warwick takes the draw, wins it back up to Yusufpour. Yusufpour's going to come down with speed, lose an edge, hook Shara, but no call. Textbook hooking there as Yusufpour gets bumped, but no call. It's out in front, and here comes Goldstein. Goldstein's going to rush down, try to make a move. He's going to get bumped, loses the puck. Centering pass over to Goldstein. Not there, though, as Larson gets this one up to Yusufpour. Hard hit by Wang. Yusufpour's going to shoot this one into the glove of Bandman. He's going to play this one down. Goldstein's going to chip this one through. In giving chase. Cutler there. Chips this one up to Day. Day's going to get this one. Try to get it all the way stretch pass to Gontus. But he's going to be whistled for offside. It's actually going to be whistled for icing. But it touched the stick, so there should be no icing call. But they're still going to play the defensive zone draw. So tied up. Matadors almost win the draw. This one's going to get back for Dunk. Take a slap shot. Hayden Day going to use the body. A little slow to get up. He still gets up, and that's the kind of stuff you love to see out of the captain as Pellick tries to center this one through. Back over to Gontus. Gontus and Ludlow now coming up. Gontus enters the zone cleanly. No icing call. So brings this one through. Tries to ship that one through. Loose out in front. Almost gets a nice goal. Is going to hit off the body of Bandman. So 2:47 left to go. You got to be curious on when he's going to go to the bench and when UCLA is going to get the extra attacker. So looking at the bench, nothing yet. He looks at the clock, doesn't go. Seuss with speed, going to go behind. Looking for options, going to get hit along the boards. Pellick just went up the boards. Bandman still in the pipes. That one going to be whistled for offside. As he's just barely offside.
So be on the lookout because UCLA's going to pull their goalie soon. So get ready to put empty net. Don't put it yet, but be ready.
And I think we are going to get a timeout. It'll be UCLA's timeout, I believe. So they'll get a quick 30 seconds to talk it over with the team. Great shot there from our cameraman, Angel Gagu. He's getting the officials, and maybe not the best officiated game, but see, I don't see what they see down on the ice, so I'm not one to judge. But it's been a very physical game nonetheless. 2:19 left to go. You got to be curious on when the Bruins are going to pull the goalie. So timeout over. Goalie's still in the net. I'd be curious if UCLA wins this draw, if they're going to try and keep it, get it in quickly so Bandman can leave the net. They can get the extra attacker. Their special teams have been good. That essentially turns into goes to a 6-on-5. And UCLA is 1 for 3 on the man advantage so far. Obviously, it doesn't count as a power play, but that's something they can do is they can score with an extra attacker. So that one's going to be into the offensive zone. Feathered to the neutral zone now. Under 2 minutes left to go as Tarani is getting chased by Ing, chipped all the way down off the boards. Here comes Wang. Bandman now leaving the net, so empty net for UCLA as the Bruins keep this one down. So 1:47 left to go, as that one's going to be a tripping call, and we might have a man advantage. We'll see who the penalty, I believe it is on CSUN, so a very bad time. You're going to be on the penalty kill for the rest of the game. So it'll be 22. Jake Dusteroff who gets it, 2 minutes for holding. I believe was the call, but it's going to be a 6-on-4. So if you're the Bruins, you're in a prime spot right now. You're on a 2-man advantage. That one's going to be smothered on the chest of Abrami, and Shara takes a shot. So back under play, 1:27 left to go. 1:25 now, time ticking slowly, still 2-man advantage. Or the power play, but the empty net makes it a 6-on-4 for the Bruins. That one gonna get over to Ing, back over to Shara. Shara's gonna get this one down to Goldstein out in front. Beautiful passing play, poked away by Abrami, and Goldstein tries to make something happen, blockered away by the netminder of the Matadors. We have 1 minute left to go. The Matadors still up by 1. It's a 3-2 game. Back over to Shara, back to Ing. Ing at the high slot at the line. That's going to be gloved down by Abramian, and a clutch save by the netminder to keep it at so face-off one by the Matadors. That one's going to go all the way down, but Shara gets there, and it's going to be a hand pass by the Bruins, so it will be an offensive zone draw for the Matadors. The Bruins not happy with that call, but Bandman now comes back, so no empty net for the Bruins. The Matadors slowly killing off this penalty. Draw one by the Bruins, and Bandman. Empty net now for the Bruins once more. 35 seconds left to go. Swings that one around, back over to Ing. Ing comes down with speed. Tries to look for the centering option, back out to the point. To Wang. Ing over to Goldstein, hits off the iron. I'm sure you can hear that one from our broadcast booth over here, and that's a lucky break that the Matadors get as well. 15 seconds left to go. Shara looking for options, back over the point. Ing shoots high off the boards. Tarani gets there, pins this one. Time slowly expiring, battling along the boards. Atancio recovers this one. Time expires. Hockey game over, and the Matadors defeat the Bruins 3-2 after some pushing and shoving. So no blood lost after this. Matadors kill off a late holding penalty that they take. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here on the MSN YouTube channel network. On the MSN Network, apologies, for the post-game show brought to you by Associated Students. We'll be right back. Welcome to the Matadors post-game report brought to you by the Associated Students on the campus of Cal State Northridge. The Cal State Matadors defeated the Bruins 3-2. Final score, a late goal, not a late goal, but 5 minutes and 44 seconds into the third period. Hayden Day scores, assisted by Luke Gontus and Jeremy Sherman. And that goal doesn't happen without the breakout in the way that he was able just to kind of sneak it through. So great way to end off the homestand. They'll take on Long Beach actually tomorrow. They travel down to Long Beach, take on the beach. But overall thoughts on the game. I mean, it's a one-man show. I can't really ask anyone, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I thought it was a great game. I mean, both teams was very chippy and very hard fought. We knew this game coming into it because of the four greater rivals with USC, LMU, CSUN, and UCLA. Games always get super, super chippy. So having the extra kind of that rivalry firepower coming in, and these two teams already played twice. They split the season series 1-1. It's now 2-1 UCLA falling at the hands of the Matadors. But so far, I mean, I thought Abramian played great. Gets the nod at net tonight as Mishkevich is going to start tomorrow against Long Beach. And, yeah, Abramian looked great. Made a couple of really crucial saves, and he sometimes couldn't find his positioning. I mean, I'm no goalie, but he was able to played very well in the net, and I think going forward, it's a good game for him to build up his confidence. Excuse me, as he was able to make some crucial saves in the crucial minutes, and very, very good job for Abramian. Some other players too, like Kevin Yusufpour, had 1 assist tonight for the Matadors. Hayden Day, 2 goals as well. Gontus had an assist for UCLA. Brendan Pellick scored 1, assisted by Kawamoto. And these gloves are making it very hard to scroll through my papers to get all of the names. But Kawamoto and Goldstein assisting on the Pellick goal. The second goal was scored by Trevor Wang, assisted by Pellick, and I believe that is Neev Gupta. Yeah, so in the first goal where Pellick scored, it was on the power play, and that was one where it was an unsportsmanlike conduct from Peter Larson. Down in the corner, it was something that happened with the board actually. So the door wasn't completely shut. So Larson gave a little cross-check, door opened, and it just got a little chippier and chippier, and got called for the unsportsmanlike, got teed up, and got sent to the sin bin for 2. It didn't sit for 2, as the Bruins ended up scoring and converting on that power play, their first of the night. Special teams for both sides. It was 1 for 2 for the Matadors, 1 for 3 for the Bruins. UCLA registered 33 shots on goal, and CSUN registered 19. So with that being said, taking a look at today's 3 stars of the game. Third star of the game, for me, it has to be Christopher Abramian. Stopped 31 of 33, made some very crucial saves, and without him, I don't think the Matadors win this game. He was very, very solid the way he played. Save percentage shows it. Only let up 2 against a high-octane firepower UCLA defense. Offense, apologies. We've seen them. They've consistently scored 6-4 in their win against CSUN the first time. They won 14-5 against Fullerton, 8-7 against ASU. They beat UCSB last week, 8-5 as well. So they can put up north of 5 goals. So Abramian being able to come in here and shut down this offense, especially against key players like Brendan Pellick. You let up 1 to Pellick, but stoned him the other times. Matt Ing, the former junior player in the WHL, being able to stone those guys on the breakaways and whatnot is very good, and that kid has a very, very bright future in a Matador jersey. Flip side, Daniel Bandman didn't play the worst either. Let up 3 goals on 19 shots, so 16 for 19 thus far. Very, very good saves. Defense helped him out a lot too. But my third star of the game goes to Christopher Abramian. Second star of the game tonight, looking at the stat sheet, gonna have to be, probably end up saying Peter Larson. The way he was being able to play. He had a goal on the night, on the power play, able to make up for the early penalty he took in the game. And for the first star of the game, 2 goals, Captain Clutch, you might call him, Hayden Day, scoring on 2, including the game winner. And very, very solid night for the captain. And as a captain, it's great that you can be able to produce consistently like that and keep the team going. And especially in times it got a little chippy and your defense was down. There was many times we saw throughout the game UCLA holding the puck in the zone for upwards of 5 minutes and being able just to keep that pressure on. That sometimes doesn't help the defense. You get wear down, you get pressured, you get chipped away, and it starts kind of hurting the guys. But Hayden Day being able to come in and play that and being able to kind of lift up his team as well. Overall, a very solid team win for the Matadors. With that being said, this is Jonas Tawney saying so long, everyone, and good night, where from Simi Valley Isoplex, the final score is 3-2 in favor of the CSUN Matadors. I want to remind you that everything airing on the Matador Sports Network may not be reused without the express written consent of the Matador Sports Network. Say so long, good night, and this has been a Matador Sports Network presentation. If you would like to stay up to date with all of our scores, please check out the brief on our YouTube channel. We post one every month. Check out the scores of CSUN sports clubs that you can find right on this channel. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week.